So we've been talking about it already, but it's what nourishes us. And so we need 5 sources of energy to stay alive.
Okay,
so
what
the
are they?
first one would be food, water, air, sunlight, and universal energy. So if our digestive system is clogged, we can't absorb the nutrients in the food. If our lungs are blocked, we can't breathe. If we lack sunlight, our metabolic system can't function. And if our chakras are blocked, then we can't access that universal energy that's stored in our
What
energy
blocks
system.
us?
There are lots
Are
of
we
things
just
that
hung
block
up on
us.
our past?
Stress, just life isn't working well, or you're not following the path that you want to be on, or you need to be on.
Yeah.
So there's lots of things that can get in our way.
So what advice do you have for people to help them at home to unblock their blocks?
Well, there's a very
and
easy,
let their energy flow.
There's a very easy tip that I tell all my clients, actually, and we can do it now. And you can do it when you're at work, even if it's not really the right place to do a meditation. But take yourself off to the bathroom and close your eyes and take the 3 deep breaths, just like Robert was talking, and have it come right in and right out. And when you're breathing in, you think in, and when you're breathing out, you think out. So what you're doing is you're taking the focus away from the stress.
Right, you're removing yourself, becoming a witness.
Exactly. And so when you're thinking in and when you're thinking out, your mind is now focused on your breath and not the issue.
And you're putting yourself in the moment, and you're not getting caught up in all the small stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what happens to most people. They get so zoned in all the small stuff, and then the anger happens, and then they cycle through that stimulus response. And it's like you need to remove yourself from that, create the space.
Yeah, that is the key.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you could use oils, I'm sure, with this breathing technique. Do you want to show us? You have a raindrop technique.
Yes, and actually that is one of the techniques that we use.
Perfect. Do you want to demonstrate
Is to do this deep breathing, and we add to it specific types of oils, mainly because of their frequencies. Because each of the oils have a frequency, and they've been measured.
Yep.
And that's what's so exciting about this. So if I was to do something here with Debra, there is an oil blend that I love using that is actually one that is made up of 4 oils. And it's one that actually helps to calm the body. And it's very simple to do. We actually just apply the oil. Do you want me to just, actually, if she would just turn a little bit.
Sure.
And it's so simple, anyone can do this anywhere. We've done this even in airports. But we apply the oil in the palm of our hand. Okay, and I do have it here, but just to simplify it, it's just rubbing it 3 times in the palm of our hand, and then we just hold it, and may I just hold you on the shoulders here. And basically, as I'm holding her shoulders, there's a frequency, there is a bioelectric frequency of the oil, and of course in my hands and with her body. And so what is happening at this point is we have this triad of information, or triad of energy, and we just hold it. I don't need to do anything other than that, and guess what?
She's releasing?
She'll start to. And we've done this many, many, many times. Pain releases, stiffness, the headaches, whatever.
Because the oils are working at the energetic level, and the energetic
level
level precedes the physical level. So the energetic level is the source, which is what you want to target, right? If you want to.
Correct. Yeah. And that's how simple it is. And that's the beauty about the oils. One of the blessings about the techniques that we have is a technique called raindrop technique. And I do have my camera here to show as well, so I'll explain how that works. The raindrop technique was devised by and invented by Dr. Gary Young when he noticed that there was problems, of course, and issues that were taking place along the spine. And he had a set of oils that he would apply along the back, and noticed that there were shifts and changes. But particularly...
Hold on one second. We do have a caller on the line. Tyler? Hello?
So my question is, if you were to step into a machine, this is like, let's say in the distant future, and we were to clone ourselves, assuming that a person has a soul, what would happen to the person coming out of the machine?
Well, consciousness lives on. I mean, you can't kill consciousness. So go deeper with your question. What's your real question? What do you want to know?
My question is it just recreated from the first person coming in?
Are you asking about like reincarnation?
like if we were to, let's say if you were to set the machine and clone yourself, what, like, assuming they have a soul, what would happen to the soul of the clones? Is it just duplicated?
That's a good question.
Well, it's a good question.
Did you ask your spirit guides?
No, I haven't really had any contact.
Well, you might want to meditate on that one
it
and ask your spirit guides.
Coupled by it.
All right, thanks, Taylor.
All right, bye.
Okay.
Bye.
You know, one thing I wanted to mention before we go on, the greatest energy or the greatest power of all, and this might help Taylor out, is the power and energy of love. It's a 4-letter word. It is the best medicine on the planet. It's love, okay? And I'm going to give you an example. His name is Dr. Hugh Len, Hawaii State General Hospital. You know where I'm going with this, don't you?
Yes, I do. I know his
Okay.
story.
Quick story for our home viewers. He practices what's called Ho'oponopono. Try saying that 5 times
Yes, that's
fast,
true.
okay? Basically, this is a Hawaiian prayer. He's a kahuna. He's also a therapist. Hawaii State General Hospital hired him to help with his patients. They were aggressive, violent, rapists, you name it. And these people were in shackles. They were medicated, heavily sedated, very violent. There was a high turnover of staff. Nobody wanted to go to work. So they hired him to, you know, help rehabilitate this ward. He took the case files, never saw any of the people, any of the inmates. He looked at the case and said, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, and thank you. For each case he did that, it took him 4 years. He practiced this prayer. This is called 100% responsibility, meaning that he had a shared experience with these inmates. So from his perspective, he was like, why are these people showing up in my life? What's in me? What's the data plan in me that's perceiving these people? And if I erase my data plan, then these people can't be this way.
That's right.
So it's about erasing yourself back to zero, where true inspiration, where the true love can come forth. Otherwise, we are just stuck in stimulus response day in and day out. It's like living Groundhog Day every day, right? Just new faces.
Absolutely.
Power of love, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, and thank you. This is how he rehabilitated the ward. Before you knew it, well, 4 years, the shackles were off. These aggressive men were baking cookies, and now the ward is closed.
Perfect.
Yes.
Okay? A drug-free rehabilitation model and a love-based model. So when you talk about energy medicine, my message to get out is that love is the medicine.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. May I add to that, that this technology right here actually was involved with a number of those type of experiments where they actually did before and afters. Intention, particularly Lynn McTaggart's work on the intention experiment in the field, they actually did this with water, where they had water in another country, and this was done telepathically, and focused, again, love. The frequency of love, and they measured before and measured the water afterwards. What do you think happened?
Yeah, well, it's like Dr. Emoto's What to Bleep experiment.
Correct, but this was done via telepathic, which is a little bit different because we didn't have to freeze the water. This was done with a droplet of water over the camera lens, and then it takes a picture.
So interesting. You know,
so it's fascinating.
It is very fascinating. One of the things, Deborah, I wanted to ask you, indigo children, crystal children, how important is it, I want to know, first of all, what are they? And how important is it to teach our children these days of our energy system? Because it is a system missing from the textbooks.
It is, but the interesting thing is those children, and the indigo children are born in the 1980s, not 1880s, and they kind of paved the way for the crystal children born in the late 1990s to actually show us where we're moving to, so they know about telepathic communication. These children all know about the energy system just intrinsically in their system. They know this. There's a new generation.
And it's about their parents showing them, you know, I mean, when I practice Qigong, I mean, you can feel the energy in between your hands, and just teaching our kids, you know. I mean, like when I just do this, I can feel, you know, like where it's moving. So it's about directing our energy and using our intention too direct.
Correct.
It's true, but they already get it. They already know it, and they're not a hard sell.
Yeah.
You know, we're trying to
Not a hard
understand
sell,
it,
yeah, I like that.
and they're trying to teach
It's
us.
hard selling.
That's
It's hard selling people good health.
There you go.
And I'd like to add to that too that what we're looking at right at the moment on the planet is an increase in light. We are going through the photon belt. I mean, we're going through a very, very key time astronomically. And this is something that I'd like our viewers to really pay attention
Good.
to.
We're coming down to the last minute, ladies.
So certainly my message here is definitely love to be in our hearts, and it needs to be felt from our hearts. And coming back, because I certainly love my oils, but the issue here really is to understand that we're all light. We are made of light.
we're made of the photons of light.
So
Yeah.
photons are light.
Yeah.
So we have this increase of light, we have this increase of photons. And so the more that we can utilize areas in our life, such as with the oils, that really help to
Lift us.
increase
Yeah.
the photons, we are doing such a
Well,
major.
It's raising our cellular vibration.
Absolutely.
Exactly. And
Absolutely.
that's what energy healing's all about.
Okay.
Raising your vibration. Yeah.
Exactly.
Any last final tips you have for viewers, Deb?
Just going back to the children,
Yeah.
with the being able to read each other's minds, there won't be any need for lies. So we're going to be heading into a world of truth, which is really exciting.
Yeah, everybody purging their fears.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Then we can all be light beings.
that's right.
Well, and I think we'll also see another magical, I think, phenomenon take place, and that is, and this is just a really key statement, that all disease originates from consciousness.
It does. And I'm going to stop you right there
'Cause
that's
that's
going to lead me into the ending. Thank you, ladies,
Fabulous.
so much for your time,
Thank
your
you.
knowledge,
It's a pleasure.
your
You're
energy,
welcome.
and thank you to home viewers for tuning into Health Matters. I'm going to leave you with a quote by Charles F. Haanel, author of The Master Key System, who said, "When you come to know that every form of disease, sickness, lack, and limitation is simply due to wrong thinking, you will have come to know the truth, and that will set you free." I will see you next week on Health Matters. Any
Yes.
final quotes?
Well, I think I've given mine at this point, so it's all in the field, and
All in the field.
that's it. The field is reality, as Albert Einstein.
Life is
certainly-
what you believe,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Thanks, ladies.
Okay,
Thank
you're
you.
welcome.